GI Customs here. As I promised in one of my last videos, I do have a Hunter Tank here that's going to be in for customization. So I've actually got some pieces for it. He's going to go into the phalanx setup. However, these pieces came separate, so they're already pretty good to go. I might take them apart a little bit just to get some better angles and stuff on airbrushing them, but not too bad. But I am going to detail this part for him as well, even though he was saying he's not going to set it up in the tank version. That way he's got the option, if he wants to go away from the phalanx back into the tank, everything's going to match and be ready to go. So you got some pieces here that were not sent I guess, but come with it. So I've got those are already taken apart. So we're gonna go ahead and start breaking this thing down a little bit so I can get everything ready to paint, even though it won't be happening right away. I still have the tomahawk and stuff to finish up, but I do have this here, so it is going to get ready to go. And I've got a container here for different parts. Somewhere I have a little tray for the screws and stuff, because you got to keep all those things together. I actually have a nice little magnetic tray over here. We will be putting things in there as needed. See that? So, got the seat here. I wouldn't mind taking the seat off, paint it. Just trying to look and make sure, you know, if it is something I can paint without removing it, it's one less thing I have to worry about breaking or anything like that. It's one less thing I have to worry about exactly where everything goes. It's just tape that off when it comes time. But at least it's out of there, a little easier to tape off, a little easier to mess with. This I think is pretty good. I am not going to take this apart for customizing. Now if I was doing a whole different color on this, I would take this apart. It would be a lot easier to make sure all the seams and all the little things are covered in the correct color, but I'm not. I'm just doing a detail up on this, so I'll go over it with a matte green, get rid of some of these mold lines, but then weather it up and all that. So I don't really need to worry about all the little seams in this instance. But if I was taking it apart for, you know, turn it into a white tank or black tank or anything like that, I would take this apart, and it just looks like, what, 1, 2, 3, 7 screws here, and this whole thing just comes in two. So it doesn't look like it would be that difficult to do. We got that. Seats, just little tabs, no big deal. They pop right out of there. So I'll put those in there. I'll definitely be painting those seats. Let's see. Not sure that those things, oh, they might have screws underneath that we'll have to take apart the interior to figure that out. So I have not watched any videos on these yet. Haven't watched any videos on how they come apart. I do know those are just spring tension loaded on there, so you can take those off. It'll be a lot easier to paint those not on there, not have to worry about them falling out or anything like that. So we got those. Screwdriver. So we are going to be taking all these screws out. Yes, I could have an electric screwdriver. I don't like doing that. I don't have a low torque, like battery powered smaller screwdriver for these. You could do that. To do a lot of these, I might end up picking one at some point. The biggest thing is I don't want to strip any of the screws, taking them out or putting them back in, and I definitely don't want to be cracking any plastic putting them back in. That's the bigger part. The screw you can replace if you absolutely have to. Cracking a big plastic body on one of these is no good. So it looks like there's 2 screws down these. Second one's back. Doesn't seem... Yeah, there's no screw that I can feel down these bigger holes. But you are going to need a thinner, longer screwdriver for some of these. Down in here. I'm not worried too much about where these go just yet, as they're not coming back up out of here, and my screwdriver is not magnetic, so it's not pulling them back up by itself. 2 in the back. I feel like there's 3 across the front, 2 in the middle, or 2 in the front, middle, 2 in the back, middle, and looks like 2 in the back. Should be able to split this bottom from the top. Let's find out. Oh, hey, there's one way to get all the screws out. So I have this magnetic tray. Crack all those. More. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, there's one more, that's why. One more on the bottom back of that, huh? Okay. You can get to it, but it is a tight squeeze if you've got too thick of a screwdriver. Shaft or whatever here, it's not going to get in there, so you have to make sure you have a small one. Get past that. Screw. Yeah, there we go. Now it just lifts right off. No big deal. And we have the top. So again, I think I said it in my last video. I think they made this compartment up here with the thought of you could run some wires up through here if you were doing lights, and they did. Yeah, they left those. They're mirrored, but you could run things to those. These back here look like they're maybe not as easy, but those that are doing it, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal to do. Looks like there's magnets in here. I'm not sure for what. It's not for that. Maybe that's for like the bridge layer or something like that, but you can see there are magnets on the bottom. So they're there for something. Maybe you can attach some things magnetically here. Maybe they're gonna make an upgrade kit for it or something. Do you think, yeah, this back piece comes out. There's a couple tabs right here. So if you just push those through, you'll be able to pop this guy out. It's always interesting not doing this on your own item, that you're doing it on somebody else's. I would hate to break a tab or anything like that. If it was my own, I'd be a little more cavalier with it, I suppose. They want you to switch this. There you go. Because the other one drops right down in there. There you go. Come on. Come on out, man. There we go. So that comes off, and that's got some magnets on it too. Magnets back here. Oh no, that's for the barrel support for transport. So you can stick it right there. Then when these tanks are transported long distances, they turn the barrel around and attach it so it doesn't flop around or move, break. I believe that's what that's for, because there's 2 magnets right there. So there's that. And as I said, the phalanx add-on replaces that part, so that way it clips right in. I'm obviously not going to do that right now because there's no point in putting anything back together. Not this time. This looks pretty good. I was wondering, just personally, the side armor panels came off. They do not. They're molded in with the whole top. Not a bad thing. I was just wondering personally, looking at some pictures. rubber pieces. I don't want to pull and break, but I kind of wish they came out. I don't know if I'd ever get them back in there. That might be a just tape them down or tape them off kind of situation. That way they don't get any overspray on them or anything like that. But there's the top, pretty simple, one piece. So we'll put that aside for now. Over here. All right, I believe we got all the screws out of there. Nope, still one up front. Pop that guy back out. Put it in there. Now we got all the screws that were in there. So let's work on taking this interior out. Looks like 2 screws in the back. And I'm going to keep these separate because they are different screws. They have washers on them, built-in washers. And looks like there's 2 in front. Yeah, the washers are actually, the washer part's actually what's holding this interior down. It looks like the screw itself goes into the base. But they do leave these cutouts and stuff where you can get to it. I'm sure that was for a production manufacturing issue as well. But it is nice. You don't have to go around things or anything like that. Also, every one of these has every one of these tracks has a spring attached to it. Interesting. Alright. I'm a little intimidated on whether or not I want to take all those off or not. I want to from a customizer standpoint. However, oh yeah, it doesn't look that bad. It's just a spring over a hook on the one and down over this on the other one. Probably that keeps it on by a little bit. Yeah, it looks like that keeps it on. For every one of those, you can see works like that. Kind of cool. That is a different setup, but these things are nice. They have independent suspension, which is a really cool little addition. One of those things they didn't have to do, but really cool that they did. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try to take one of these tracks off. Okay. Keep finding screws from taking them out the first time. So I might not take those off. More from I think I can spray what I need to in here and just save myself that time. I think it'll take me less time to do that than it would to take every one of these off and put them back on. Tracks come off pretty easily. Don't seem to be any big deal, and those just go back on when they're ready. But that seems pretty straightforward. Again, if you were breaking this down to make a winter tank or a Tiger Force tank or something like that, unfortunately I would take every one of these wheels off. Looks like, yeah, there's a screw in the back of these, so you could take these actual wheels off. Actually, you might be able to. You can't quite do that without. Yeah, you can't quite reach all of them. There's some of them looks like are just move a little better than others. Now you could take them off in here and take all the wheels off. The biggest thing that'd be nice about that is paint all these little details and stuff in here without having to worry about going around the wheels. I'm going to be painting the wheels. Looks like they're all the same. I mean, other than these front two have a shorter arm on them. Interesting. Yeah. Let's see what we can do here. That is not the right screwdriver. That didn't work. Let's see what happens when we do this. I'm just going to try with one. Is this attached to the inside that when I take this off, it causes more problems? I feel like it's gonna. And it's gonna undo the inside when I take this out. At the very least, that is a very long screw. Oh, no, we're good. So there are some flat spots in there that you need to line up when you put these back on so they line up right. That shouldn't be any big deal. Okay. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't mind having these things off of here. Let's take care of that real quick. So you do want to be careful, I suppose, not to just grip it and rip it there. I'm going to leave those screws in there. They seem to fit in there pretty good, but they are, I believe, the very smallest ones. Yeah, they're smaller than even the body screws, so some of them come off easier than others. I have to imagine, yeah, they're going to be the same on both sides, so there's not really any, usually I'll keep things very organized, exactly how I take it off and put it back on. Now, in this case, I happen to have a video to help me out this time. Not everyone has that. Until you're watching this back, I suppose, to know how to put them back on later. I'll have to figure I might have to take that one off from the inside. Flip this around. These guys off. Obviously, it's not sitting as nice and even anymore. That's with all the wheels on, but it should make painting this bottom and stuff a lot easier. Getting some of the metal details and stuff in there. Be pretty nice. Anything I can do to save myself time, I do. That is my biggest cost to the customers or anything else, is my time painting. All of this stuff, even the 3D printed ones I do, the biggest expense in all of that, even though the filament on some of these is crazy, like the Ravens, hundreds of dollars in filament just to print out if everything goes perfectly. But at the end of the day, custom painting that, oh man, that's at least half the cost. Any of them. It's just a matter of how much. Sorry, I just saw. This side looks fine. This side's got some pressure marks from the plastic. You see where it gets lighter in there, where these have been pushed or strained or something, maybe during assembly. I haven't really been doing anything on here, but the two on this side look like they're a little more worn than they should be, in my opinion. That's something that that happens before it breaks. Now they could have done some plastic welding or something there. They melted these from the inside, so maybe it's just from that. But not something you want to see. Maybe these are pressure fit on, so I will not be taking those off. But I bet they were putting these on and had a hard time or something, and those two got a little screwier than they should have. And these two come from the inside. Right now I'm going to leave those on, the two front ones here, and the two back ones I'm fine with. There's not really detail under those. Airbrush and stuff I can get under there, it's no problem. And those are going to be the same color anyways, so I'm not too concerned about that. Let's look into this interior here. Yeah, see, I thought that maybe these had screws underneath. They absolutely do. That is something I will take care of, because I do not want those the same color. I like that they're black already, which is fine. I think the inside on all of these for me is going to be gray. And those are a different one yet. Actually, I'm just going to put this right back in here. Double twist. Now I'll detail some of the handles and stuff out there. That's no big deal. Those out. Doesn't look like this little lever guy That might be glued in there. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it alone, I think. Everything else here, there are separate pieces. The center piece is a separate piece, but I feel like that goes together. Oh, they've got some clips here on these sides. Plastic clips are always a catch-22. It depends on how easy it is to pop them out and whether or not you need to. So this is going to be gray. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, see, those are in there pretty good. Might be just fine. Might be these little tabs in here. Might be one of those that I don't know is worth the risk on, at least for this project. I think taping these two screens off. Everything else I should be able to get to with an airbrush. No big deal to turn this from white to gray. Not a huge deal. I'll probably detail up these two screens a little bit, go over the buttons and switches and knobs and everything more. A little vent. Got a lot of room for detail in there. This is as far as I'm going to break this down, I believe. If anyone's got any questions or specifics on any of it they want to see, please let me know. But this will be going up this weekend sometime. If you're watching it, it's probably after Thanksgiving, something like that. So hopefully it's a nice little short video. Hopefully it helps people out to be able to see, you know, what this is about, how easy it's going to be to customize. And I may still take that seat out. Yeah, I'm going to take that seat out. Hold on a second. Hold on. Rewind. Just makes sense. I'm going to paint the seat. And really don't want. There we go. Comes right off there, no big deal. Let's get this screw out of here. That's a different screw. I'm going to go ahead and put that. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to put it back in here. That way I don't get where it goes. It goes back in there. There's seat out. Now you could leave this seat out. The other one I had, you can swivel these all the way backwards, so you can have a guy standing in there that the seat doesn't get in the way, and then swivel it forward if you really want someone to sit. But I will be painting this some kind of different color. I'll have to look up some tank seats, some tank things. I think it'd be cool to be like kind of a leather brown tan, but that may be completely unrealistic. Don't know. He's also going to do the phalanx version of this. I believe is his end goal. So this isn't even going to be his main display. So he may figure out a different way to set this somewhere and use it anyways. So got all my parts here, got everything together. This is how I usually set things, so I can keep things organized and know what parts go to what, especially if I have a couple of things. I have one of these. I'm probably not going to take it apart like this, so it'll be easy to know which one's which. But I keep all this stuff together. That way I know where my projects are, what pieces go with what. Nothing gets confused. Even if most of it is fairly simple and straightforward, it's just better to stay organized, right? I'd hate to miss a piece, send it back to somebody or something like that I then have to resend or remail. I'd just rather not go through that. So like and subscribe. There'll definitely be more coming with this guy. Said I'll be doing a video on this, full detail up. Everything. It'll probably be just 2 or 3 videos. It's not going to be a big series like Tomahawk or Rattler or anything like that. But this is a client commission. I had a guy send this to me and wants it all detailed up like some of my other stuff. So I'll definitely be doing that for him. I'm looking forward to it. I will have to wash all of this. Any of the mold release oils or something that you can't really see, you'll see right away when paint doesn't stick to it right. So I'll wash all this. Maybe that'll be part of the video, maybe not. This comes off, it looks like. So it's a good quality stuff. I mean, I think I said it in the Cobra version video. It's toy plastic. I'll make it look like it's not toy plastic because that's what I enjoy doing. And that's what people contact and commission me to do. But you know, it's a toy. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what they're marketing it as, even though it's adult collectible. At the end of the day, you know, it looks really good. It's modeled really well, injected really well. I mean, there's some old lines and stuff, but nothing crazy, nothing you wouldn't expect from any other place. For the price they were, I mean, what, $200? I think maybe they're a little more now because you didn't pre-order them, but pre-order they're $200. Like, I can't be mad at that at all. So I'll detail this up, make it look badass, and get it back to the customer. But until that happens, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for everything else. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. I've got more planned than I can possibly get to at any reasonable time. So I'll be videoing as I go, trying to paint and do more and more, and then release the videos as I'm able to. So if there's things you guys want to see, or hey, when you do this, like I'd really like to see this part, definitely leave it in the comments. Reach out to me, social media, Facebook, Instagram. They're in the links down below. If you got any questions on anything of, hey, what do you use for this, or where did you get that, definitely let me know. Until then, I take care and happy Thanksgiving.